Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. We're back from the break. Thank you so much for staying with us. It's time for us to kind of get some housekeeping out of the way. Tonight's show is, of course, sponsored by the Doctor of Optometry, Dr. Euphemia Huggins Williams, ODPC. You can reach her at 804-327-1640. She's my eye doctor, y'all. She will take care of you, make sure that you don't have any glaucoma, any cataracts or whatever. She's got a very stylish selection of eyewear, glasses. If you need contacts, if you want them people like the funky colors, she can hook you up with all of that too. I think that's whack, but she's gonna hook you up if that's what you want to get. She takes all kinds of insurances, so whatever you need, holler at the Doctor of Optometry, Dr. Euphemia Huggins Williams, ODPC, at 804-327-1640, or just drop by 7124 Forest Hill Avenue, Suite B, Richmond, Virginia, 23225. At this time, every single week, we always profile a missing and/or exploited child. This week's child is young Levi Jennings, whose date of birth is January 1st, 2011. He's been missing since April 16, 2013. Young Levi is a black male. He is 2 years old. He is missing from Brooklyn, New York. He was last seen in apartment 212 at 1560 Fulton Street in Bed-Stuy. He was being watched by the babysitter when his biological father, 22-year-old Thomas Jennings, forced his way into the apartment and took the young child. Thomas Jennings is legally barred by the courts from having custody of his son. He is now wanted for custodial interference. So if you ever seen young Levi Jennings, who is likely in the company of his father, Thomas Jennings, please contact the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at their website, missingkids.com, or contact them by phone at 1-800-THE-LOST, 1-800-843-5678. Let's definitely try to see if we can bring young Levi Jennings home to his custodial parent. Ain't no hashtag with Marcus J is live from the Den of Legacy internetradio.com. MixLR, we see y'all lighting up the MixLR board. We appreciate everybody that's listening to us right now. At this time, I want to go around the room and introduce the ladies who have joined us on the show tonight, and joining us for the very, very first time. We are definitely pleased and honored to have with us a friend of Ain't No Hashtag with Marcus J and a friend of the Dating Pool blog. We got Miss Brandy in the room with us. What is going on, girl? Hit the switch, turn the mic on. Okay, gotcha. Go for it. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
All right, well, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. And also joining us for her monthly spot, we got the Dating Pool diva herself. We got Author Charisma joining us. What's up, girl?
Hey, how y'all doing?
We doing great. Good
nice
to have
see you guys again.
Definitely glad to have you both here. And like to get you guys warmed up for the Diva Diaries by going through a couple of what the hells. I'm going to go around the room and get real quick comments on these things here. I'm not going to take a lot of time on them because I know the folks are waiting for the relationship stuff, and we're definitely going to get into how to work through the single hiatus. That is tonight's topic for the Dating Pool Diva and the relationship segment. But a couple of things real quick. I got 3 quick stories, and this one, it's what the hell. Teacher, and I got this from thegrio.com. Teacher claims she's racist in defense of child molestation charges. She tried to get out of being charged with being a child molester by saying, I ain't touching no black kids because I don't like black kids. I mean, I when I do these stories, I kind of do it with my tongue firmly in my cheek, but this is one. Esther Irene Stokes is 61 years old, was charged with decency. She's a teacher at Northwest Preparatory Academy in Humble, Texas. She allegedly touched a 7-year-old girl's private parts outside of her clothes. The young girl said that Stokes sent all of the other students out and then inappropriately touched her. And when she was charged, she said that she wasn't trying to do that because she don't like little black kids. Quote, she says she doesn't even touch the black kids on their hands. She shies away when they try to hug her. She admitted to being prejudiced. This is what the Humble Police Detective Jay Blanchard told the news, Channel 11 News there. So I'll come to you on this one first, Brandy. When you hear this, What is your thoughts on this? I mean, good grief. I don't even know where to start. What do you think?
I think maybe the police were trying to help her out and decided that might be the best defense for her to just use that. Stupid as it may be, that might have been what the police say. You know what? Let's just get this out of the way. Just tell them you're racist, and that'll get rid of it. So I can't see any sane person using that as a defense. But
Charisma, what you think when you hear this, man?
I have a lot of questions. You know, the investigator in me has questions, and I'm just wondering, like, what is her defense for sending all the kids out and just being with this one child? So I would have a lot of questions before I could give my opinion about it. But, you know, if they have evidence against her, I mean, I just think it's disgusting.
Big rope.
You know?
So she sent all the kids out, sent all the other kids out so she can touch the little black girl in her privates.
She wanted to touch the little black girl, but then she's denying it because she don't even want to hug him.
Okay, but the little black girl said she touched it.
Yeah, 7. Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's what, she's 61. I mean, I don't know why she's, like, you know, like Chris said, why you send out all the kids?
Yeah, to me, that's where it gets really great. Carlton Banks, when you hear this, what you think, man?
She need help. Everybody has an excuse on why they did something or something happened. You know, she's how old and how long she been teaching? This ain't the first time. She just happened to get caught this time. That's all that was.
Right. And you know,
touch the wrong kid.
And you know how Steppin with Marcus J. Brandy. I'm coming to you on this one first. You the special guest, and this is your first time here, so I'm gonna pick on you. This one right, this one, I wasn't gonna do this story. I saw it last week, but then it popped up on my radar again. 80-year-old grandma. She killed her husband for talking smart to her. And right now I'm showing a picture to the crew of what 80-year-old Annie Oliver of Kansas City, Missouri looks like. And, you know, 80 years old, so you can kind of, in your mind, guess what an 80-year-old black woman looks like. She looks, to me personally, she looks a lot older than 80, if you ask me. You know, my grandmother lived to be 82, and she didn't look this old. She's got oxygen. I mean, this lady she's an old lady. And apparently her husband got the sass at her, and she wasn't going for it. So not only did she stab him to death, but she bust that ass with a baseball bat, y'all, for talking smart. Now, let me just start by saying this. 80-year-old people don't kill for the first time at 80 unless, and sisters, that's why I'm going to come to you first, Brandy. Sisters, y'all know what it's like to be with that brother. He just picking on you until he touches that very last nerve. Like, he done messed up all the other nerves, but he got to the last one, and you ain't had no more nerves left. And you snapped. There's more to the story, and I'm going to get to it as we kind of talk about it. I won't spend a lot of time on it. But, Brandy, when you hear just that byline, he was talking smack, so that's why she did all that. Sound like overkill to me.
I mean, I have heard stories where it's the other way around, where the gentleman was the one that assaulted his wife even when they were that old. But I don't know what to say about it. It's kind of funny. If that's something that has been going on for years, usually, you know, the woman will go get their hot grits and play grit ball rather than. But see, how old at 80? How couldn't he get away from her?
Both going at the same speed. Let me read some of this. Let me read some of this to y'all, and I'm getting this from I Date Daily, is the website that I'm getting. An 80-year-old Annie Oliver of Kansas City, Missouri, stabbed and hit her 75-year-old husband Ronald Oliver with a baseball bat Wednesday. Police said they found Mr. Oliver on the floor of the bedroom in a large amount of blood. Mrs. Oliver confessed to the detectives that she hit her husband with the bat. When asked why she killed her husband, Ms. Oliver claimed she, quote, lost it when her husband smacked her hand and began, quote, talking smart to her. The news, of course, shocked people in the neighborhood. They've been together for 40 years, and there's more to it. But, you know, he smacked her hand. I don't say that there's ever a time, you know, to put your hands on, you know, your lady. But, you know, I'll be honest with you, I don't know that a smack on the hand, if that really was all he did, warranted her taking a knife and jabbing it in him and busting that ass with a baseball bat. Dating pool diva. I mean, when you hear this, I mean, I feel like there's a lot missing, but I'm reading to y'all what's here.
Right. I got 2 questions. Okay, does she have any other issues like psychological issues, senile, something like that? Because for an 81-year-old sane woman to do that extreme of a thing, I mean, you know, you just don't expect that from an elderly person.
Nah.
And then too, like you said, was it more than just a slap on the hand? Had he been beating her down for too long and she just had enough?
My guess is that he was messing with her more than just talking smack. Like, there had to be more than talking smack for her to be like, all right, look, I'm about to take the steak knife and carve you up. But it wasn't just a knife. She bust that ass with a bat.
That's anger
that's
right there.
Yeah, that's anger. That's not just, you know, I mean, I don't know, Carlton Banks, I mean, what's your thoughts when you hear the story like this, man?
First of all, you know he was going to die next week. Why she had to go off and kill him like that? He ain't had that much time, and if you saw the picture, she ain't got no time left. Her damn self. So she.
if you want to see the picture, it's on my Facebook wall. Anybody that wants to see it.
So she stabbed him how many times?
Well, I don't know that how many times is listed in the article, but I don't even know that that's relevant. I see where you're going, you know, but I would think that if she jabbed him one good time and then pulled out the baseball bat, I mean, that's just some. Hey, bro,
baseball bat. Okay, how she pick up the Louisville Slugger?
Hey, Ru, I see you over there falling apart.
Yo, man. Like I'm envisioning this in my head. Yo, girl, give me some breakfast. I ain't give you no breakfast. Smack. I'll give you some breakfast. Come out. Takes 20 minutes to walk to the kitchen. He chilling on the bed, probably. Yeah, you gonna get me some breakfast. Came in there, stabbed him. Oh, he didn't die. She took another 10 minutes, found the bat in the closet, and then just struggled to pick it up and just smacked her. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing at this.
Y'all going to hell for this.
I ain't going to hell. I believe in hell, so I'm good.
Yeah, I'm envisioning this in my head, and that is the only way it could have worked. Because this is like, it's got to be premeditated because it took her way too long.
Nah,
to get this done.
When I see this, I mean,
it's sad, but
in all seriousness, I mean, my thing is, you know, it was definitely a crime of passion, but the fact that it was a crime of passion, but the fact that she stabbed him at least once and then finished him off with a baseball bat, I mean, I think that is clear. I mean, she's charged with first-degree murder, which is premeditated. I don't see how you can get a first-degree murder charge when it's clearly a crime of passion, you know.
I agree with you, because I'm thinking if I premeditated it, I'd like mix some bleach or something in his juice. I mean, I wouldn't.
You say that as if you thought about this. My goodness.
I mean, I wouldn't like all of a sudden just snap.
Damn, she said bleach in the juice.
Right?
What the
in the juice. So it tastes just like juice. You don't even know you
don't have any
bleach.
murderistic type of tendencies.
Now I'm thinking about it. We got to really think about how was he bedridden? I mean, we see how she looks. If she's cooking for him, I doubt very seriously that he didn't look better than her.
I'm a fit too.
Yeah.
I mean, he may have been bedridden. We don't know. Maybe that's why he couldn't get away. We don't know.
I mean, I think that first-degree murder is because she stabbed him first. Clearly, she stabbed him first. Then she came back with the bat. That's your first degree. At first, it's a crime of passion when you stab him. Then he went to finish the job. You finish the job with the bat. Yeah. I mean, but really, first-degree murder, she's going to spend how long in jail?
I mean, at 80 years old, I mean, a first-degree murder charge, depending on the state, that's a life charge. And,
I mean,
so you're going to give an 80-year-old, 50 years? They'll
just give her house arrest and call it a day.
Yeah, probably. Because obviously, in all seriousness, she's a sickly woman. Apparently, in the article, it says that she hasn't been seen without oxygen in a very long time. So it is what it is. Call us up if you want to get a comment in on this one, 804-402-2893. We got one more What the Hell, and then we're going to do the duration of the show with the Dating Pool Diva and the Diva Diary. So we definitely want to hear what you guys say about this. The last story that I wanted to do is kind of a hybrid story. It gave me an opportunity to jump off into the situation, what's going on in Boston, and I want to take kind of a different angle on it. I don't want to really get into the suspects. I think we all know that there were two brothers from Chechnya, which is a small country that is just west of Russia, but in Eastern Europe, and they were the people who allegedly are the perpetrators of this heinous act. The older brother is dead. I have seen a autopsy photo of him. It is absolutely one of the most gruesome things that you'll ever see. But the older brother is dead. The younger brother is in custody. First thing and the only thing I'll say on that is this dude was hiding in a boat and waited for the neighbor guy to call the police, and then the police came, and after last night he was fighting them off. He didn't fight them off while he was hiding in a boat. Sounded a little suspect to me. But what I wanted to really get into for the purposes of the what the hell is how our people in this country treat other people in this country, and based upon some of the things that other people say. And sounds vague. I'll set it up by saying this: a Muslim woman is attacked after the Boston Marathon bombings. You've got Heba Abaloban, and I hope I said that correctly, says she was walking with a friend when a man suddenly punched her left shoulder and started shouting at the group. Both were wearing hijabs at the time. Now, first of all, you a punk because you a man and you going after a woman for whatever reason, especially a woman that you don't know that didn't do nothing to you. You know, there's never a good time to go after a woman. Never. But you going to go after a woman that you don't even know just because you think she Muslim? You a punk. He was screaming, F you Muslims. You a terrorist. I hate you. You're involved in the Boston explosions. F you. And she was shocked, of course, obviously, by this whole thing. And this whole incident comes after CNN's John King mistakenly quoted a source saying that a, quote, dark-skinned male had been apprehended in connection with the bombings. Dark-skinned male could be anything from a black dude to somebody from the Middle East, and we know that this was two white dudes from Eastern Europe. So there's two things that I want to get into, actually three, that I want to get into in this story. The first thing is you got to make sure that you keep the public afraid of black men. You got to do that, because then you can do the other things that you're trying to do. That's first thing. Second thing you got to do is keep the public afraid of Muslims. You got to do that, because then you get to justify some of the other craziness that you do. But then you got a dude that's attacking a woman. I mean, there's so many areas that we can go with this. Brandy, I'll come to you on this one first. I see that you've got the most reaction of the crew here on the story. I'm guessing that you either heard about this story before. If you haven't, it's definitely resonating with you now. Why don't you give me your comment?
Well, I didn't hear about the woman getting attacked. I heard of a man that had no idea about the Boston bombing, got attacked or jumped after he was eating lunch. They automatically assumed that he was Muslim or that the bombers were Muslim and jumped him. My thing is this: assuming that someone is terrorist will turn you into a terrorist yourself. It's crazy how we just turn our anger into what we're accusing someone else of doing, of having anger. So that's really all I can say about it. I mean, we look at ourselves before we start accusing someone else of it. That's all I can say.
Charisma, what's your thoughts when you hear the story?
I don't have a lot to say. The whole thing just really upsets me, so I try to avoid the news. I know you're supposed to be informed and all that, but I mean, you really can't run from it. It's on the computer, it's on TV, it's everywhere, and it's really sad. I mean, hate just brews more hate that brews more hate, and I'm just totally against that. So, I mean, I don't have a lot to say about the particulars, but it just makes me sad.
Colin Banks?
It's just sad, man. I mean, why even go through something like this? Why? I mean, life is too short. Don't need to hurt anybody. Just, Ruben says it best. Natural selection. Kill yourself.
Big Rope?
Really? You just gonna take my stuff?
Yeah, I had to get you to it.
Really?
Yes.
Trifling.
Kill
It
yourself.
really is. I used to hate when he did that to me, and you really need to get your own stuff, man. Get your own stick, man.
Hey, man.
Nothing.
When it falls in, it falls in. It fell in. It ain't my fault you came to me before you came to him. That's a him problem.
I'm really not liking him right now.
That's a him problem.
I'm really not liking
That's a
him.
him problem.
I mean,
If Brandy wasn't sharing the mic with him, you know what I would do, right?
yeah, you cut up.
I'm scared.
I would shut his mic off.
Like I'm scared.
Yeah. all
Shut
right.
my mic off.
Big Rube, take the final word before we take our break.
I mean, one day the world will agree with what I said last week and start taking personal responsibility for themselves. And if you hear what I said last week, you can go to YouTube and listen to it. It's a pretty long rant. But, you know, natural selection, I'm more about personal responsibility this time. If you're going to be an idiot, that's cool. Just be an idiot to yourself. Don't be an idiot for everybody else. Because I ain't got time for it.
That's what it is. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. We're going to take a break and leave it there. I think we all said what we need to say. I don't think that this one needs much more commentary. I wanted to get something in on the Boston Marathon and bombings, but I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it simply because I think that the listeners as well as the participants of the show tonight have definitely got their fill of it, and the way that it is all kind of playing out in the media. Personally, I got a lot of issues with it. I just do, simply because I don't trust the media. I guess technically by hosting the show, I become part of it, but the way I look at it, you either going to keep it real or you're not going to keep it real. And if you're somebody that's not going to keep it real, then I'm not fooling with you, and that's just the way I roll.
Fox News.
Fall News, Fox News. Okay, yeah, they just reported about a brother who got hired to be an anchor on a news station. He drops the F-bomb. He gets fired on the first day, and they blame him on the president. That's Fox News. That's how they roll. And if I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that one either. If you want to look it up, it's on my wall. Yeah. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we got the dating pool diva in the building. She's here for a reason, y'all. She ain't here to ask what the hell. She's here to talk about her. She ain't here to ask what the hell. She here to talk about how to survive the single hiatus. Marcus J. Live from the den. Nick LR. Legacy Internet Radio. We'll be back in a minute.